And again, I think the narrative throughout Ireland was, that all the evils that Margaret Thatcher did that made things worse in Northern Ireland, or that weren't fair to some of the prisoners on the other side of the issue up there. But then I moved over here and learned that people throughout England kind of hated Margaret Thatcher too, and she done things here that were hard on the working class population in terms of closing down mines or whatever. That
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah,
obviously
absolutely. I think it's interesting for me because I grew up down south. I grew up in London,
yeah,
and it's such a different relationship to Margaret Thatcher compared to when I came up north. Like when I lived down south, I didn't really care about politics. I didn't know much about history, so
yeah,
I just knew Margaret Thatcher as a woman who, she created the financial district in London, like
yeah,
Canary Wharf. So she's kind of known in London for being like the kind of creator of that district and all those
yes,
jobs, and seen as like a big help or whatever. And
yeah,
I remember
yeah.
I came to uni. I went to uni in Sheffield,
Oh
and
yeah,
oh my god, people for the first time in my life, everyone's talking about politics and history, and it was so new to me. And
yeah,
then I remember, obviously, sort of when you even this was like what 4 years ago, but even back then, you just kind of repeat the things you've heard growing up. Like as when you're saying in school, you don't really know what you're saying. You kind of say what you've heard, sort of thing.
yeah,
That was what I did. And I remember like having arguments with people saying, "Oh no, Margaret Thatcher's great. Like she created this financial district," and they're like, "No, she closed all the mines. Everyone lost their job." But I didn't really know anything about this, so I just kind of blindly defended it. But I
yeah,
sort of realized over time and having a lot of talks with people that how much of an effect she had on people's lives up
yeah,
north, closing
yeah,
all the mines down and not sort of having any plan in place for them when they would
yeah,
take their jobs away in effect. So you have a lot of towns and places up north where effectively everyone would lose their job, and
yeah,
it created a lot of hardship.
yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting to sort of see that relationship, like how two different places view the same woman.
So differently, that's it. And two different periods of time can view the same person so differently, can't they? Because even and since I think my perspective on Margaret Thatcher now would be like I wouldn't like her job. She made a lot of really hard decisions, and kind of some of the industries that she shut down, they weren't very lucrative anymore, and it was kind of they were going to end up collapsing at some point later anyway. So she just bit the bullet and maybe did what was best for obviously what she thought was best for the country overall. But she did have that reputation for being quite heartless. And yes, you would imagine the perfect ruler might have had more plans in place to account for kind of human suffering as a result of some of the policies or whatever. But yeah, I don't think that was really the political culture of the time.